Today marks a beginning of a new life for this location, and we wanted to gather together to celebrate this new beginning. Today we're going to hear a little bit about the history. We're going to certainly thank all of those, many of those who have helped bring about today, and we're going to talk about what the future will bring as this site unfolds. Actually, you'll hear more about this, but what used to be manufactured inside here were pots and pans. The Club Aluminum Product Company. You know, they're some of the best manufactured products. 300 people or more working here. And as the markets shifted, as this company left, befell on this property and on the community much of what we see across older industrial cities across America today. And the manufacturing of a worthwhile product and the generation of high wages turned into the abandonment of a property. But what I want to talk about is the manufacturing of a new day, the manufacturing of a new way for 9205 Detroit Avenue, and the beginning of a new life for a community and for a neighborhood. Through the leadership of our local development corporations now almost 16 years ago, the local development corporations, Mayor, understood that we had a strong partnership with our industrial neighbors. And Cadell Improvement, Detroit Shoreway, and Westtown, and the supporting council people, Ray Pianca, Dan Brady, and myself, created what has really become a leading organization now known as WireNet, Westside Industrial Retention and Expansion Organization, that reached out from the community base to build a strong partnership with our industrial neighbors. John Colm, Mike Hogue, and all the staff of WireNet, please raise your hand and step forward and join John here, and Matt DeGurin and Barbara, his daughter. And what I'm talking about is, what does it take to bring about a day like today? In summary, the days of the industrial productivity of this plant ran its course. The city's efforts to try to prosecute our way back into livelihood for the facility was not very productive either. But we manufactured, if you will, a new beginning through a great partnership of community effort, strong involvement from the federal government, and the foresightedness of our economic development department of the city. So we are creating, just like so many people did when they created Club Aluminum Products, we're creating a new life for this property, and you're going to hear more about that in a few minutes. I'm going to ask Ann to come forward and say a few words on behalf of the family. Ann always said to me, if you ever do take that building down, be sure to let me know, because I want to be there. And Ann, you're here. Ann, please come forward.
Jay, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Councilman Westbrook, Mayor Jackson. On behalf of the Deutsch, Bloomberg, and Whitehill family, thank you so much for including us in today's activities. When I mentioned to my friends that we would be here today, everyone said, "Aren't you sad?" What has been sad is the lack of caring for this building and the community on the part of the most recent owners. No, my sister, brother, and brother-in-law, Jonah, Chuck, Whitehill, and I, are really glad that the sorry state of this building begins to be erased today, and that is why we are here to join you and look forward to reuse of this land so that it can again provide jobs to many Clevelanders, as it did for more than 60 years that our family owned and operated its business here. In the names of Adolph Deutsch, Raymond Deutsch, Edward Bloomberg, and all of the former Monarch Aluminum family, we thank the participating state, city, and county agencies, local officials, and near and dear to my heart, community development corporations, because I'm a member of a CDC board, for their hard work and vision, which now ensures that this property will once again generate growth, productivity, opportunities for residents of the city that our family has always loved and will always love. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think it was about 4 years ago, City Council assembled a list of priorities, and then Council President Frank Jackson read and I think first visited the Trinity Building. And we toured this area, and I guess maybe he got tired of hearing me talk about it and decided we better become mayor and help fund it and get it done. So Mayor Jackson, I think, is bringing a new dimension to City Hall to really reach out and build the kind of partnerships that I've tried to highlight in the earlier presentation. And with great honor that on behalf of the community and all of us who have played a role in bringing it about today, that we thank Mayor Frank Jackson for being with us. And Mayor, if you would please come forward. Let's please acknowledge Mayor Frank Jackson.
Thank you, Jay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Better, you'd be better. You know, this was one of the projects that when we did the tour and we got a pot of money to do things in each neighborhood, each ward, this was the project that Councilman Westbrook chose, that he was his top priority to deal with. You know, and I always say that my purpose is to make Cleveland a great city again, and to make our neighborhoods a choice where people want to live, work, and play in our neighborhoods because they're just a great place to be. That means we have to restore the quality of life in the neighborhoods. And when we look at a building like this, when I became mayor or councilman, none of us would have thought it would have been like this. So you have to play the hand you dealt. You have to play the hand you dealt. And if we look at this, and this used to be a building that really added to this community. Hundreds of jobs. Many of the people who probably worked here lived in this community. But you look at it today, and it's a symbol of neglect. It's a symbol that says to the people of this neighborhood in Cleveland that this area is a neglected area. And as you know, that invites all kinds of negative activity to occur. And so what we have to do, in playing the hand that we're dealt, is to change this symbol of neglect into what it used to be, a productive property, to turn it into something that says to this neighborhood and to the city of Cleveland that this is a good neighborhood to live, play, and work in. And that is how we look at this and why we're going to address it. So thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
And congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Frank Jackson. As the mayor said, the city takes the hand that we're dealt, but I'll be honest with you, we don't have all the cards that we always need in the deck. And so we have great partners with the EPA, with the county, and with the state. So, and we want to hear from them.
On behalf of Governor Taft and Lieutenant Governor Johnson, I'm pleased to be here representing the state of Ohio's investment in Cleveland's future. The first-time members of Cleveland's economic development team, Linda Pesti and Brooke Furio, brought me to the Trinity site. It was clear to me that this would be a great opportunity for COAF to make a difference in a neighborhood. At the Clean Ohio Fund, we talk a lot about removing environmental barriers and obstacles to progress. And that's why it's always exciting to be part of a demolition event and actually get to see something torn down. A unique facet of this project is ODOD's ability to partner with the Industrial Land Bank Initiative begun under the leadership of Mayor Jackson. I'm pleased to be here meeting residents and neighbors as we watch the beginning of the end of the Trinity Building. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Amy's with the great Buckeye state of Ohio and the Clean Ohio Fund, which all of us helped to initiate as voters. Brooke Furio, and he wants to introduce his boss, and we're going to hear from her, but I was saying earlier that it's a very, very unique partnership where the federal government has actually placed a person at City Hall to work with us hands-on in making the new day, turning brownfields into productive green fields of reuse. Brooke Furio.